All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Bethany Garman. I am a student at Stanford University studying human development and family science, and I've had the opportunity to serve at Grace Klein this semester with two of my classmates, Hannah and Jacquette. And we have some videos just to teach you about some things we've learned and some information we might think is useful to share with you all. They've kind of talked about food preservation, nutrition, and things like that. I want to start off today talking about different ways you can prepare the food that comes in your Grace Klein boxes. And I know based on what I've seen volunteering, I know that the food changes constantly based on what's available. But some three common things I've seen in all the times I've served are squash, cucumber, and tomatoes. So those are the three things I'm going to talk about today. Starting with squash. Squash is low calorie, low carb vegetable. It's high in vitamin C, vitamin B6, and potassium, making it a very nutritious choice. And then there are many ways you can serve squash. These are just three relatively easy examples. Starting with roasted squash, moving on to steamed squash, and then grilled squash. For roasted squash, you slice it, you can cut it in half or cut it into pieces. You brush with olive oil and season with salt, and then place it on a baking sheet and bake in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. So that's roasted squash. And then for steamed squash, you would slice it and place in a microwave-safe bowl with a bit of water. You cover microwave for 3 to 5 minutes. And then season with salt, pepper, and olive oil. So that's how you make steamed squash. And then lastly, grilled squash. You can cut it into thick slices or wedges. Brush with vegetable oil and season with salt. And grill for 5 minutes on each side. Again, there are many ways you can serve squash, many different recipes involving squash. These are just three easy examples of ways you can serve squash as a side or as a part of a meal. Moving on to cucumbers. Cucumbers are great because they're high in water content and vitamin K, which helps strengthen bones. And the most common ways I've seen cucumbers served are as a part of a salad, on a sandwich, or in a smoothie. So again, there's several ways you can serve cucumbers, but these are just three easy ways to include the cucumbers that you get in your Grace Klein boxes. Lastly, with tomatoes, they are a good source of several vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, potassium, and vitamin K. And again, there's several ways you can serve tomatoes, several ways you can use your tomatoes that are in your boxes, but just three examples here are tomato stew, tomato soup, and sauteed tomatoes. For stewing tomatoes, you would peel them, place in a skillet with 4 tablespoons of butter, cover and cook slowly until the tomatoes break down, add salt to taste and a teaspoon of sugar, and cook until well blended, which is about 10 minutes. For tomato soup, you saute a finely chopped onion in butter until soft, add 6 medium-large ripe tomatoes, peeled, seeded, and chopped, add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and salt and pepper. Cook that for about 10 to 12 minutes or until it's thickened or paste-like. You remove from heat and stir in 1 cup of heavy cream. Then you taste for seasoning, see if you need to add or change anything, and then you can serve this hot or refrigerate it. And then for sauteed tomatoes, you cut the ends off and cut into 1/2 inch slices. But with cherry tomatoes, you're going to want to cut those in half. And then in a skillet, you can heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil over medium heat for 2 minutes. Add a finely chopped onion, minced garlic, clove, and a teaspoon of snipped fresh thyme. Cook onion and garlic until the onions are tender, which is about 2 to 3 minutes. Add tomatoes to skillet and season with salt and pepper. And then you cook and stir for 1 to 2 minutes or until the tomatoes are warmed, and then you serve this hot. And then for each of these things, there's going to be different recipes online, different ways you can cook it, so you can always find which one works best for you. And again, there's several different ways you can serve these things, but these are just 3 easy examples that I have found. So going over all of these, with squash, you can serve it as roasted, steamed, or grilled. with cucumbers. You can serve it in a salad, on a sandwich, or in a smoothie. And then with tomatoes, you can stew tomatoes, make tomato soup, or saute tomatoes. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to give some examples of some more specific recipes, ways you can incorporate these ingredients into your meals. But yeah, this is it for ways to prepare some of the food items you get in your boxes.